Let's go. Buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires and get up to a $70 prepaid card by mail. See retailer for details.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far, far worse.
Tomorrow night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Voodoo, black magic, is it real? Yeah, it's real.
American Supernatural. Tomorrow night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under fair skies. Today, abundant sunshine. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Monday night this fall,
What is it that produces these things?
the Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the
We're
area.
getting hail the size of golf balls. Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial services companies in the country?
Yours? Not anymore. Come on.
By meeting you more than halfway. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
And good morning to you, New York City, and what a difference an hour or so makes. It is now 10 after 9, the low clouds filtering in across the area. At sunrise time, there's actually glimpses of sun hitting those buildings, but not as much right now. The clouds starting to be on the increase, and this, unfortunately, is just the beginning. What could be a rainy and cool weekend for many of you across the Northeast corridor. Some showers to start things out, and then the cool air really comes into play. It's not just one, but 2 cold fronts working their way across the Northeast corridor. The first one will come through, and you won't really notice much difference. 61 in D.C., 57 in Syracuse. But look behind the second front, 45 in Detroit, and extremely windy as well. Now, along these fronts, we are looking at a little bit of precipitation. We're seeing the showers on the increase here, moving through and coming off the lakes. And the lakes are actually enhancing this precipitation a little bit, kind of like what you would see for lake effect snow. This is lake enhanced rain in this case, because still we have cold air moving on top of the lakes, the warm waters of the lake at this point giving that added lift to the atmosphere, and it's bringing moisture along with it. So I-90 is not going to be a fun drive today. The New York Thruway, it's going to be a soggy one. You're going going to need those windshield wipers going through much of the day. In fact, we can time this out for you and keep an eye on I-90 or whatever town you live in, if that's the case. And you know what? We're going to continue to see the showers move through the bulk of the day. Not raining for everyone and not necessarily raining all day, but it won't exactly be perfectly nice either. And then the cold air really starts to filter on in as we go through the end of our day. So that's something that we're going to watch very carefully as we continue on through the weekend. So for tonight, rain showers, but look at that. The pink is on the map. Some snow showers mixing in. And when we really get into the cold air, look what happens by tomorrow. Blue on the map. Snow showers in upstate New York, portions of Vermont, and New Hampshire. Temperatures from the Midwest into the Northeast corridor, 10, 15, even 20 degrees below average by the end of the weekend. Jen, back to you.
And then after that, there's more. Get ready. All right, Boston, let's start with you. This morning looks great. You know, got some few clouds out there, but overall the skies are brightening up and a lot of boats out on the water. The head of the Charles Regatta is today, and you lucked out, Boston, because today's weather is the best it is going to be for days. And let me show you why. You know, Mark just showed you about that next series of systems coming on through, but the big one comes next week. And we've got a possible nor'easter coming our way. Now, first of all, let me just say it's rain, not snow. Get that out of the way. But let's talk about this nor'easter and what it's going to bring. Nor'easter, a reminder of what it is. It's a strong area of low pressure. It forms off the mid-Atlantic and northeast coast. And the reason it's called a nor'easter is that northeasterly wind direction. Winds coming from the north and east that just pounds the coast. And it brings moisture and heavy rain. With those strong winds, it also kicks up the waves and sometimes causes erosion and coastal flooding. Now, here's how this particular one is going to set up as we get you into the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. We got a big dip in our jet stream. There's going to be an upper level low associated with that. This is the northern branch of the jet stream. The southern branch of the jet stream comes into play as well. This thing starts to wave north, so we get energy from both, helping to get the air rising. And as air rises, the low pressure is really going to get stronger and form right here off the mid-Atlantic coast to start. And then it continues to move up to the north and east right along the coast. So we get those northeasterly winds along the coast, causing all of the coastal problems, as you know all too well if you live here. Now, we're going to be watching for very windy conditions, and the rain starts on Tuesday, continues on Wednesday, and continues on Thursday before it moves on out. You'll see those showers start a bit on Tuesday, Wednesday a tough day, and Thursday a very tough day and very windy up into New England. Mark.
And Hurricane Ana getting closer to Hawaii. The island's starting to feel the impacts, mostly in the form of large waves, but there could be some rain or even some mudslides for the higher elevations. We're tracking the storm and the tropical watches that are up for the island chain. Of course, back towards the continental U.S., plenty of events going on this weekend in Baltimore. The Running Fest and the Baltimore Marathon going on. Perfect running weather there through the morning into the early afternoon, low to mid 60s and sunny.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander. For a cleaner, healthier home. Certified. It's our new standard of clean. Call now about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
We used to have so many empty rolls. It felt like we were flushing money away.
Mom!
That's why we switched to Charmin Ultra Mega Roll. It's Charmin quality and long-lasting. With more goes per roll, it pays to use Charmin Ultra Mega Roll.
Charmin Ultra Mega Roll is 75% more absorbent, so you can use less with every go. Plus, it even lasts longer than the leading 1000 sheet brand.
For us, Mega Roll equals mega value. Cha-ching! We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin Ultra Mega Roll?
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Let's get weather geeky this morning. I'm going to kind of walk you through the life cycle steps of a tornado, including what first begins as a funnel cloud. As it gets organized, that funnel comes all the way down to the ground. You often then...
Honey, he's here.
Coming.
Not too late.
Love you guys.
Finally, someone who's good enough for her.
Families everywhere are feeling the love for their natural gas appliances. Find out why at naturalgaslove.com.
Excuse me, but I can't believe your age. Your skin looks so young. I never take off my makeup with soap and water. Too drying. I use Albolene. I started using Albolene when I was your age. I start today.
And now there's Albolene in a convenient tube.
Living with diabetes, it's really important for me to take care of my skin. It's a schedule. It's must do every day.
Gold Bond Diabetics Dry Skin Relief. 9 out of 10 saw noticeable improvement in just 1 hour. Dry skin is under control.
Gold Bond really works.
Refund the shipping and even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
If you miss tomorrow night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, tomorrow night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And welcome back. 20 minutes past the hour. Tropical update time. We start with what's happening in the Pacific. Of course, in the Atlantic, we've got Gonzalo, and we're still tracking that moving away from Bermuda. But the worst weather in Bermuda is over with. So let's take a break from that and look at Ana and Trudy. And Trudy here in the Eastern Pacific may be a surprise to some of you this morning. I'll show you the concerns with that in just a moment. Ana has been a threat to the Hawaiian Islands, and Hurricane Ana right now has winds of 80 miles per hour, down a bit from the peak of 85, which we had previously. The movement to the northwest at 13, and that's key. It's keeping it away from making any direct impact here on Hawaii, other than the outer bands extending out, and that's where we're seeing the brighter cloud tops. And when I put on the radar, that's where we're seeing some of the squally weather. Now, within any of these, we may be getting some heavier rain as well as some winds gusting in excess of 40, and there's a chance you could see winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour. But again, the rain is on the move. The flood watch that's up for the Big Island in the southern half of the Big Island continues until noon Hawaiian time on Saturday, expecting anywhere from 2 to 3 or maybe even 3 to 5 inches of rain. A little help from the elevation there will really help squeeze out some of the moisture that the atmosphere has to work with. This path, projected path, is key. We were very concerned about more of a direct impact or a turn from Ana, but not looking like we will see that. We'll see it remain away from the Hawaiian Islands. Surf and some squally weather will be the biggest impacts. Let's look at Tropical Storm Trudy. Trudy was named a depression, first a depression yesterday, and then named a tropical storm overnight last night. And you look at this bright white cloud here near Acapulco in southern Mexico. Winds are at 60 miles per hour. This movement is very key. First of all, it's already close to land, and it's not moving very quickly, only at 2 miles per hour. It's going to make landfall later today as a tropical storm, but the problem is we are going to see it just rain and rain and rain, and we're expecting anywhere from a foot to a foot and a half of rainfall right here along the coast. You know, just inland, we've got this mountain chain that runs through here with peaks of 7,000 to 8,000 feet, the Sierra Madre del Sur, and so that's really going to exacerbate the rainfall and bring the threat for flooding and mudslides there. And then beyond that, we'll track the moisture from Trudy into the Bay of Campeche and into the Gulf of Mexico. Eventually, that may reach southern Florida by the time we get to next week here, bringing some additional moisture. And we'll have more analysis on this through the morning. Mark, back to you.
Thanks, Jen. And Hurricane Ana passing more than 100 miles southwest of the Hawaiian Islands today, but the entire state is still under a tropical storm watch, and well, the storm is already bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and high surf. And storm chaser Josh Morgerman is in Honolulu, joining us now by Skype. Josh, what is the overall mood in Hawaii right now?
There's like across the board, there's like a mixture. You know, some of the surfer dudes are like very excited at the idea of high surf. People who remember Hurricane Iniki of the early 90s are kind of freaked out by it. Most people are somewhere in the middle, just sort of having a cautious watch and wait attitude about it.
And Josh, you talked to some folks across Waikiki a little bit earlier. Let's take a listen to that.
Do you know where the hurricane is right now?
Not really, but I assume it should be hitting on Saturday or Sunday, coming from this direction.
My plan is actually to come to the beach and enjoy the waves.
Wow. Do you feel like anyone you know is worried about this, or are people taking it in stride?
Honestly, most of the people I know, they're not really worried about it.
We do have warnings from the hotel that's told us to stock up on supplies just in case.
Now, when a hurricane comes, do you know what that even means? Like, what happens?
They told me that it's not going to be a big deal.
They switched their flight from Sunday to Saturday just to be safe. They don't want to get stuck here for an extra few days. I would, but that's just me.
Some people seem worried, like they're stocking up on water and supplies.
Oh, they are? Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried. I'm flying out on Monday, so I'm a little worried my flight is going to be canceled.
So, Josh, for the people that are kind of getting ready and hunkering down, are they concerned about the wind, the waves, or the rain? Like, what's the biggest threat for where you are?
It seems to be like basically a combination. The interesting thing is native Oahuans, people from this island, really don't have any idea. Most of these people have never actually been through a direct hit from a hurricane because the Hawaiian hurricanes, most of the ones have hit Kauai. So there's almost like a lack of a picture in their mind of what would actually happen if something came up and hit the island.
All right, Josh, thanks so much for the update. We're going to be checking in with you in the next hour and taking a look at those waves on the increase as well. Of course, back in the U.S., it's going to be cold and wet for portions of the Northeast, especially in Maine and upstate New York. We're going to take a look at where rain or snow could knock down that fall foliage.
Project of the Week is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Plug 19 on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Listen up, Thunder Dragons. It's time to get a hotel.
Hey, Razor, check this out. We can save big with Priceline Express deals. You know what, man? These guys ain't no dragons.
They're cool. These deals are legit.
Yeah, we're cool. She's cool. We're cool.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call 1-800-FARMERS and see how much you could save.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap. Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. You know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change, for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
It's just freaking me out.
If you miss tomorrow night on the Weather Channel,
This is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, that's real.
Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Supernatural. Tomorrow night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, Hurricane Gonzalo unleashed its fury on the island of Bermuda, and this morning we're getting a look at the damage from the storm.
Rain and showers like this could make a return this weekend. Will it dampen your plans? We'll show you who's going to get soaked.
Plus, the ever-famous woolly worm. They're kind of like the groundhog for insects, but in forecast or fiction, we'll look at whether their markings can actually help predict the upcoming winter season.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Mark Elliott, in for Alex Wallace today, and you are looking at a live picture of Bermuda behind us. That's where Hurricane Gonzalo made landfall last night. This morning, some reports from authorities that nearly every road impassable because of downed trees and downed power lines.
As you might expect, with a very strong Category 2 hurricane making landfall, which it did last night, the front edge of the eye wall went through, and then the entire eye, the calm over the entire island of Bermuda, and then the very powerful back edge of the eye wall came through, and it was that backside, I think, that really caused probably most of the damage.
So not only was it just improbable that this storm would so perfectly line up with the island, but the timing really couldn't have been worse, as the worst of the winds were at night when it was pitch black and just eerie with that storm going by.
Well, hopefully everyone was inside for this, and we have not had any reports of injuries, which is a great stat to be able to report. I hope we continue to be able to report that. When you see the video like this of Gonzalo making landfall and you see these strong winds, and we know that Faye just came through here, and Faye took down trees already that were weakened, but Faye may have weakened other trees, so that was always a concern out there as well. we had the front edge of the eye, then the eye, and then the back edge of the eye wall come through, and just expecting to see a lot of damage reports.
Yeah, absolutely. And we certainly have seen that, especially with regards to trees that are down and powers out to anywhere between 70 and 85% of the customers across the island.
So we do still track Gonzalo as it moves up through the Atlantic. Winds are going to calm down today. In fact, I took a look at the latest reading out of the airport, and I guess it's still going. It's still cranking out observations.
Yeah.
Winds are gusting at about 20 to 22 miles per hour right now.
Which is a lot better than the 140 to 150 mile per hour gusts that were happening last night. And our storm chaser Mark Sudduth is there and had to go through those types of winds. Mark, are you there with us?
Good morning to you.
Oh, hello. Sorry about that. Didn't know that was my cue. Good morning.
So for viewers who are just joining us, tell us, a synopsis of what it was like going through the eye.
Wow, the eye itself was really amazing. They all are. I've been in many of them in my career. This one, with these peeping frogs, these whistle, cricket frog, whatever they're called, peepers, they sound like beepers, honestly, electronics, instead of, the croaking type frogs we have in the United States, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So you got this calm of the eye, and where I was here at the Grotto Bay Resort, near the airport, I am telling you, the wind went down to less than 5 miles per hour, if not dead calm. And then in the background are all these frogs chirping. It's just amazing to know we're in the eye of a hurricane that's passing directly over Bermuda, not a few miles west, not a few miles east, but right over. And what are the odds of that? And it was amazing. And the people that I talked to that work here at the hotel thought it was just as amazing as I did.
And of course, you talk about the calm, but then the winds on the backside of that eye actually sent you running for cover in some ways. Tell us about that.
That's correct, and I made sure that I explained that to folks, and it's not like they didn't know, but I wanted to make sure I reminded them that the backside's going to come in, and it's going to be powerful. I wasn't sure as to how strong, and we got a dose of it. A quick lesson, the opposite direction, it seemed much more intense. I can't explain it, because you would think that the front side would be the strongest. It's something I'm going to have to look into. But yes, it was rattling the building pretty good. These buildings are built so well, though, that I wasn't worried about the structure or the roof coming off or anything like that. But the windows are always going to be the weak spot. And so at one point I figured I better go into the bathroom, smallest room in my hotel room, obviously, just to be safe in case who knows what comes through the sliding glass doors and blows in. You just don't want to take any chances, and I followed that protocol.
Bermuda, no stranger to active tropical weather, and the reason why their structures are built so soundly. But you hear often reports after Bermuda is affected by a hurricane of the smell in the air of cedar. Do you smell that today?
Yes, absolutely. It's in the States, it's pine, and here it's cedar. And it's too bad that these hurricanes cause the mayhem that they do, because the phenomenon behind them is really incredible, and the changes that they leave, it's too bad that we have to go through such violent weather to appreciate it, with it doing damage and unfortunately sometimes loss of life, because otherwise it's truly an exceptional piece of nature's work.
And Mark, I know you do research during these storms, placing cameras and weather stations out ahead of the storms themselves. But with the road network the way it is, are you walking to retrieve this data? And are you able to get any early indications of if your data made it through the storm?
I'm going to be walking here in just a little while, about a 2-mile walk back to the house where the weather station was set up. And the gentleman who allowed me to do that has told me that the anemometer is still up there. And so as long as everything on the inside in his attic survived, well, I know it survived, but as long as there was no, as we call, gremlins, right? Something always wants to go wrong. Murphy's Law, right? As long as that didn't come into play, then we should have exceptional long period weather data from before Gonzalo got here until after it left.
That's some great data for research. And Mark Sutta, thank you so much for your work in doing that and for your reports. We'll continue to check back in with you throughout the morning. We also want to take a look at the weather across the lower 48 and the weekend weather. We got some rain out there, Mark.
Yeah.
Syracuse, that's the way to describe the day.
It is the definition of blah.
Yes,
I think that is a technical term
the official
on a day
forecast
like this.
here.
Yeah, when you have just a series of cold fronts working their way through the northeast, each one will bring some light rain, but even some lake-enhanced rain showers possible. In Syracuse, you just happen to be in the perfect setup right along that New York Thruway today, anywhere right along I-90 from Syracuse, maybe back towards Buffalo. Repeated rounds of showers. Jen, bring us up to speed on this cool weekend.
Yes, so let me show you where this rain is now and where it's headed. We've got a cool, showery weekend across the Midwest and Northeast, and we take a look at right now, first of all, temperatures. Syracuse, you were at 59, you're now at 57. Your temperatures are going down. Same thing in Burlington. That's the trend behind this front, is that you'll find falling temperatures. You're also going to find rain showers. Some of it has been a little bit heavier. In fact, starting to see a few lightning strikes with that little batch now moving up and crossing over the state line from Vermont into New Hampshire. So don't be surprised if you hear some thunder out there. It's possible. It's not going to be the main story, though. It's more so just the rain showers. And along the eastern seaboard, I-95, the chance for those rain showers will come in by later today. But most of your day in Boston down through Philly is going to be dry. Where we'll see the rain today, tonight is mainly western Pennsylvania, western New York. And yes, your eyes are not failing you. You've got pink and blue on this map, which means there may be some snow up at the higher elevations. When we come back, we'll talk more about your weekend weather, and we'll get you ahead with more on the tropics at 50 past.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The amazingly tender roasted turkey, always raised without antibiotics. The zesty cranberry mostarda. The freshly baked flatbread. But here's what you don't always see. The care and attention that goes into it. Because what matters most is the simple, delicious ingredients that make up the whole delicious meal made just for you. And this is our turkey cranberry flatbread sandwich paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. Only at Panera Bread.
Cool down with an iced coffee from Panera Bread.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
Andrew. Rita. Sandy. Meet Chris. Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
We put all the apps you love inside a car designed to connect you to a world of possibilities. The Connected Car by Volvo. Innovating for you.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing.
but Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
Sweet mother of softness, Charmin.
Take a closer look at Charmin Ultra Soft and you'll love what you see. Not only can you use less, but you can actually see the softness in our comfort cushions.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin Ultra Soft?
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free, instantly. Plus, get up to $80 off select Cooper and Hankook tires. Trust the boys to get you there.
Yoplait Light is now better than ever. It still melts in your mouth with 90 calories and is now aspartame-free. Yoplait Light. It is so good, it's better than ever.
The getaway vehicle.
For all the confidence you need. TD Ameritrade. You got this.
On the weekends, we like to count down the best and worst weather, and I get the job of the best today. So number 5 on my list is Boston. And although it's not the best weather in the country per se, it's the best of the next several days for you in Boston. So that's why I'm giving you this honor. Go enjoy it. 69 degrees. Clouds will be coming back by the end of today. We should hold off any rain for the head of the Charles Regatta, which is taking place there. Number 4 is Tallahassee, and Notre Dame is coming into town. This is where game day is. You got a lot of people outside, and the weather is going to be great. Temperatures mid-80s, lower humidity. It's going to be a pretty good-looking day there. Dallas, it doesn't get any better than this. We've got blue skies, temperatures hitting 81 degrees, no weather complaints at all. The Atlanta area, we've got another front coming through, which is just going to reinforce the nice weather that we had yesterday. So just as nice today. Temperatures hit mid-70s for you in Atlanta. And Orlando, it's been such a great stretch the last couple of days. We finally got a front to clear us out yesterday, and there is another front that we'll track on through, but just like Atlanta, will reinforce the good weather that we've had. So looking pretty good here. Mark is going to count down the 5 worst places for weather this weekend coming up in the next hour. But Mark, over to you for weather headlines.
That's right. Some people are only happy when it rains, so worse might not be worse for everybody. But in any case, it's your weather headlines for this Saturday morning, and we start off with the effects from Tropical Cyclone Hudhud still being felt in the Himalayas now. A series of blizzards and avalanches hit the mountain range, leaving 29 people dead, dozens more still missing, and all that snow was formed by moisture from Hudhud remnants. And many of the victims and hikers were caught off guard by the dramatic weather change and the most popular time of year to hike across this area. A combination of man-made snow and a foot of the real thing in Colorado. Ski lovers, get your gear ready. Ski season is ready to go. A-Basin, Arapahoe Basin, opening today. Other high-profile resort areas like Vail and Breckenridge scheduled to open in the next couple of weeks. And it is Bridge Day in West Virginia. This is awesome. Base jumpers from around the world will leap off the New River Gorge Bridge into the white waters of the New River below. It's the only day of the year that they shut down the bridge for this. 80,000 spectators, and we are looking live right now. Jen, I know that you love watching this. The base jumpers come from everywhere to do exactly this.
You're right, one day a year. There he goes. This is live. He pops his chute, and there he goes. I wonder what that water temperature is. I mean, the air temperature can't be that warm.
Well, they aim for the parking lot. They don't want to land in the water, but I guess it probably happens once in a while.
Oh, I've seen it happen. Because this is all live. We're watching it as you're watching it here at home. And they keep a steady stream of people going.
It is so great there. They all get ready. They kind of mentally prepare. They're holding that chute that they can throw out and ride that thermal on the way back down. And you know that they're all wearing GoPros. So we're going to see video from this.
For sure.
Oh boy. Maybe we should look at something else.
He's doing a somersault. Yeah.
Woo.
Wow. Oh, okay. Making our heart beat too fast here. I don't know if that was an intended somersault, but he did one.
I think it was an intended somersault that didn't work very well.
You do have to be very experienced to do this, by the way. You have to have a lot of skydiving experience before you get to jump off of the new River Gorge Bridge. It's the 35th annual. A couple showers are possible today. If you're in the area tomorrow, partly cloudy, 54.
And if you're still in the area, maybe checking out the leaves and the views and, catching your breath and trying not to pass out from watching, Sunday looks pretty good too. Partly cloudy skies and low 50s.
All right, so coming up next, we'll take you back to the tropics after a short break.
Some cashback cards limit your rewards by telling you where you can earn bonus cashback. And then those categories change every few months. 1 month, it's the gym. Next month, it's movie theater. Who buys that much popcorn? Get the Quicksilver card from Capital One. It lets you call the shots. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on absolutely every purchase, everywhere. Now, isn't that how it should be? What's in your wallet?
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Tomorrow night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. 100% satisfaction guaranteed and free shipping every day.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
What do astronauts eat?
Have lunch with one and find out. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
I can do anything.
The bed reacts to your body. It hugs you.
It's really cool to the touch.
The zip's off so I can wash it. Yes, please.
Visit your local retailer and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference for yourself.
Wherever you walk, just remember this. Whatever you step on goes on your shoes and ends up on your car's floor. So to perfectly protect your vehicle, you need WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model.
Watching the NFL on Xfinity from Comcast is like having the best seat in the house on game day. Because NFL Red Zone gives you a front row seat to the biggest plays around the league, including every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons, live, all on one channel. Get NFL Red Zone from NFL Network when you add the sports entertainment package for just $4.99 more a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Visit Comcast.com/NFL today.
The Treasure Coast is a special part of Florida. It's why people retire here. It's why Bob and I moved here to raise our daughter, and I believe it needs to be protected. That's why I've worked hard to find funding to clean up the Indian River Lagoon and Loxahatchee. And it's why I voted to cut taxes and fees for our seniors and small businesses. Our community is worth fighting for, and I am just getting started.
056704 for a free buyer's guide. That's 1-800-805-6704.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Now that the daylight has been on the increase in Bermuda, we're starting to see more and more images of damage coming from the island. This one from Devon, or Devon, probably Devon, on Twitter. Look at that damage, though. The winds absolutely battered this building. Big gaping holes in the infrastructure there, holes in the roof that you can just kind of see at the top of the screen there. You know what? Lots of damage across the island. Widespread tree and power line damage as well. So getting around the island to start the cleanup process has been difficult. Priority to the roads that lead to hospitals and other emergency vehicle routes to clear out those trees, and then we'll really get a better handle on how much damage there is across the island. Of course, that's not the only story in the tropics. Jen, in the lab, you've got Gonzalo moving away, Ana near Hawaii, Trudy near Mexico. What are you watching right now?
All three of those. And for anyone just waking up, Trudy may surprise you. That one is near Mexico, very close to the coast, and I want to show you that one in just a minute. I'm going to start with Ana, though, out here, because this has been a real threat to Hawaii. The threat certainly has diminished in terms of direct impacts, but there is going to be an influence from it. So here's what's happening right now. You can see the circulation certainly looks less organized than it has, and the winds are down to 80 miles per hour. It is a hurricane. The movement to the northwest at 13, and that northwest movement is key. It'll keep the core and the center of it away, but you can see these brighter clouds now over the eastern 2/3 of the chain of islands, and we are getting some of those outer rain bands bringing in some squally weather, some heavy rain. Winds could gust in excess of 40 or 50 miles per hour, and you can see the northern part of the Big Island on the radar showing up some rain. We're likely getting some of that too on the southern part of the Big Island, just getting blocked by the mountains there that we're not being able to see the radar. Now let's show you the forecast rainfall, because this is pretty important. This is one of the main concerns, is how much rain we may get and any potential flooding. Flood watch up for the southern half of the Big Island through noon on Saturday. This is where 3 to 5 inches of rain may fall, which is why when you saw that radar and void of any echoes right there, you know that it is raining with this kind of forecast. The other islands, maybe a local area could get anywhere from 2 to 3 or potentially 3+, but really the main amount of rain is going to be less than that for the islands. All right, so the path keeps it away Flights, a lot of you are wondering about that. I didn't see many flight cancellations from big airlines going in here today. So hopefully, if you are planning a trip to Hawaii, you will be able to get in. Let's take a look at Tropical Storm Trudy and Acapulco showing up right here, very close to Trudy, which is this big blob of white that you're seeing on here, big blob of clouds. We're seeing a lot of strong thunderstorms and heavy rain. The winds, 60 miles per hour. It's a tropical storm. The movement east at 2 miles per hour. And that is our biggest concern with Trudy, is that it is not going to be moving hardly anywhere. We're looking for this thing to move in and rain itself out here on the mountains of southern Mexico, the Sierra Madre del Sur, where the tops of these mountains go up to 7,000 or 8,000 feet and extends right along down here. And so that elevation change, and if you get the winds coming in right against that elevation change, that is really going to help squeeze out all the moisture in the atmosphere. And we are expecting more than a foot of rain, maybe even a foot and a half of rainfall. Flooding, mudslides, all a very real concern here in southern Mexico. Then Trudy's moisture through the weekend is going to be on the move. And we've been talking about this actually for more than a week now, about the models pointing to some moisture getting into the Bay of Campeche, then into the Gulf of Mexico. And the thing that we need to watch to see if any of these thunderstorms, this moisture, these thunderstorms organize in the southern Gulf of Mexico. And, there's certainly the chance this time of year that we could see something develop here. So that's one thing we're going to keep a watch on. The moisture itself is also of concern because we're going to see the chance for some heavier rain get into parts of central and southern Florida. And then I will tell you, there is a moisture connection from that all the way up into the northeast by the time we get into next week. And that might be affecting your rainfall there, believe it or not. So connected, aren't we? All right, let's look at Gonzalo real quick. It's moving away from Bermuda. The winds at 100 miles per hour. The radar still not coming in, but that's okay. There might be a sprinkle or two I have seen on the radar, but really, the bad weather is over. Wind gusts are coming down as well, now down to about 20 miles per hour at the airport. Mark.
Well, Hurricane Zalo came through Bermuda as a Category 2 storm. The damage reports are coming in, including at the island's main hospital, and electricity is out to most of the island. Plus, a nor'easter could hit the northeast in the week ahead. It's definitely going to have some cooler temperatures to start out with. Is snow an option? We'll let you know. Stick around. We're back in 1 minute.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sleeping, Hurricane Gonzalo pounded the island of Bermuda, making landfall around 9:30 local time, and the slow-moving storm took hours to cross completely over.
Now that the sun is coming up, we're getting a look at the damage from Hurricane Gonzalo. We've had some reports of boats that weren't moored down have run ashore. Also, we've got trees down and power lines down, and more than 80% of the island without power, and that's just the start of it.
Today, people in Hawaii are getting ready for Hurricane Ana. While the islands won't take a direct hit, the force of this storm will most certainly be felt.
And guess what? We've got a possible nor'easter on the way. We're going to break down the conditions, bringing together this powerful system and when it could land in the northeast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather Center Live. It is Saturday, October 18th. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And we've got several big stories to follow today, mostly in the tropics, but as you heard, not completely. But Hurricane Ana moving in just to the south of Hawaii. We expect to feel the impacts later today.
And then there's Hurricane Gonzalo. The island of Bermuda took a direct hit late yesterday and into the overnight hours. So here's the latest information on Hurricane Gonzalo. The storm has sped up. Also, the winds are down. We have winds at 100 miles per hour, still Category 2, and the movement to the north-northeast at 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, that fast movement is good news for Bermuda because now the cleanup can really begin. Gonzalo made landfall around 9:30 last night local time, and this is what the Port of Bermuda looked like after 2 hours after the eye moved through. So the backside of the eye, yeah, that's the port, believe it or not. You can barely see what's happening with all that rain and wind right in front of the camera lens.
This really just a case for the textbooks when you look at what happened here on Bermuda, where you had very strong winds as the forward edge of the eye wall came through, and then the entire eye, which was 35 miles across, was over the island of Bermuda, which is only about 21, 22 miles across.
And the data is going to be unbelievable. The fact that there was a balloon launch from the National Weather Service through the eye of a hurricane, only because it was the right timing. It wasn't even an extra launch.
I know, isn't that uncanny? They set their balloons up every night around, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and that's what happened. All right, so we do have power out, though. There have been impacts, no doubt, and certainly when that back edge of the eye wall came through, especially, I think that's when a lot of the damage happened. We can see from some of this video some of the damage that has ensued.
Man, look at the arcing of that power, stuff hitting the lines and all that power running through. It's obviously a bad combination, and you see those those pops and that blue color, the arcing of the power.
Now this is because you can see some daylight here. It must be from the beginning of the storm as things really started to go downhill. The Weather Service in Bermuda did report a wind gust of 144 miles per hour near the airport.
Yeah, and then almost no wind when the eye moved through, and then wind gusts close to 100 miles per hour again as the backside moved through. So obviously anything that was even a little bit weak would fall. And the newspaper in Bermuda, the Royal Gazette, posted this picture on Facebook this morning. The power company there, Belco, says crews have begun the assessment of the damage, but with 35 of the 36,000 customers without power, at least at one point, they don't know how long it's going to take to get everybody back on. There's a lot of infrastructure damage. It's going to take a bit.
So this eye of Hurricane Gonzalo passed directly over the island. Again, power outage, a big problem. And Gonzalo isn't done yet. It's still on a track over the northern Atlantic.
Yeah, NBC meteorologist Dylan Dreyer has a look at the damage from the storm.
Good morning, guys. This was the strongest hurricane I have ever been in. And in fact, this is the strongest hurricane Bermuda has seen since 2003 when Hurricane Fabian made its way in. So I just want to describe to you what happened last night. We had these crazy winds come through, but it was still manageable. We could get around the hotel. Everything was fine. The windows weren't shaking. Then the eye of the storm comes through, not even a breeze. It was as calm as it could be. And then the storm really raged on. The backside of the storm ended up being the strongest side of the storm. We saw lashing rains, and we had these winds that were just billowing the windows. They were kind of bowing a little bit. I ended up going into the bathroom just to sleep because I didn't trust what the windows would do, but they were built for this. They said they can withstand 175 mile per hour winds. I found out that some of my other crew also slept in the bathroom, so I didn't feel like such a baby. But, when you're in that situation, you just need to go in the safest place because you don't trust what the winds are going to do. But then all of a sudden, this morning, you wake up. The waves are still obviously roughed up. That's going to take a while to calm down. But the winds are still a little gusty, but not nearly as bad as they were yesterday, and the sun is back out. So now it's time to go out and assess the damage, which we'll do a little bit later on as this storm continues to pull away. But there were about 30,000 people without power, and cell phone service is choppy at best. Just want to point out that causeway to the airport that we were so worried about because Hurricane Fabian washed it away. It seems to have held up through this storm. Engineers are out assessing it, and they'll reopen it once they determine that it's safe. But that is really the only connection to the airport. So, this was a big storm. It was a giant storm, a Category 3 hurricane. We did get reported wind gusts of 144 miles per hour. So it was wicked here, but this island certainly withstood it. But we'll see what damage is away from the hotel where we're at a little bit later on this morning. Guys?
All right, Dylan, thank you for that. And impressive, really, how much they sustained there on the island. I know the structures and houses are very well built. Let's go to Anna, which is going to skirt by Hawaii, but not without impact. Not direct impact, but there'll certainly be something. So what you're looking at right now is a satellite perspective, and you can see the brighter clouds. These are the stronger thunderstorms out there, the outer bands, which are swinging through the islands. The core of it will stay offshore. The movement to the northwest at 13, and we're expecting that movement to continue. So the rain will be the biggest problem. Now on the Big Island, the radar echoes are showing up on the northern part. You're not seeing the echoes on the southern part, but it is raining. You know, we are getting certainly some maybe heavier rain down there. The reason you're not seeing it is because the mountains are in the way there in the middle of the island. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Tropical storm watch still up. There's a flash flood watch for parts of the Big Island until noon on Saturday. The surf is up, and right now we've got anywhere from 3 to maybe about 7.5 foot surf. It could be 8 to 12. Before things start to settle down in terms of those waves. That's the reason why lifeguards are going to want to keep you out of the water when things start to get choppier, and they will through the day today. Winds right now are not a concern. With some of those thunderstorms or squalls, you might see winds gusting up over 30 or 40 miles per hour, but that's going to be the extent of it, and we expect this thing to continue to move out to sea and away from Hawaii in the coming days. We'll continue, of course, to keep our eye on this. Now, coming up this morning here, next we're going to talk about what's happening in the Midwest and the Northeast. It's raining, it's windy. What's up with your weather? And what about those cool temperatures? We've got it all covered for you next.
Here at High Acres, we always say life is better on the farm. And that's because we love what we do, which is growing the best tasting fruit available. After months of nurturing, our orchards are bursting with crispy, delicious apples. And we can't wait for you to taste them. That's why we work with Walmart. They help us deliver some of the freshest apples available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
Great rates for great rides. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Sunday nights, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the earth. An all-new season starts Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The tender, slow-roasted turkey, the zesty cranberry mostarda, the freshly baked flatbread, paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. A delicious meal made just for you, only at Panera Bread.
Cool down with an iced coffee from Panera Bread.
If you have Medicare Part D, you could be at the corner of, I'm throwing away money, and I had no idea. Well, Walgreens has your back. Our expert pharmacists make it easy for you to save on your prescriptions, so you can keep your money where it belongs. Swing by Walgreens, where you could save even more with Medicare prescription copays as low as $0 at the corner of happy and healthy.
Need brakes? Pep Boys has the best brake service at the best price. Right now, get $50 off instantly on Precision Match brake service exclusively at Pep Boys. That's $50 off instantly. Trust the boys to get you there.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do. You seem nice.
Well, good morning, Plymouth, New Hampshire. And if you were watching about 2 hours ago, this is exactly what we were waiting for. That low fog has lifted off, except for over the mountain peaks. Photographer's dream outside right now in Plymouth. The bright colors of fall shining through. They actually say a little bit of cloud cover and rain and fog makes those colors pop even brighter. So you get the best combination, right? The best amount of cloud cover for you, the best view of that fall foliage, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of good pictures until, of course, the rain or snow comes into play and starts knocking those leaves off the trees and we lose peak foliage. And that is unfortunately a potential, as we do have a showery start and a cooler end to the weekend on the way. A series of cold fronts coming on through. You're still seeing southerly winds for the East Coast. D.C., you're up to the upper 60s already, while New York and Boston, you're in the low to mid 60s. But then we've got a 1-2 punch of cold fronts trying to come on through. Detroit, you're stuck in the mid 40s right now. So that is a very big difference. Along this front, we've got some showers, and well, we can zoom into those showers and where they're really packing the biggest punch. Cleveland seeing some rain, Buffalo some rain, but the heaviest rain has now moved in towards I-90 from, let's say Syracuse to north of the Capital District and eventually up towards Burlington as well. You're seeing those showers moving through also. As we go through the day today, we're going to follow this rain as it treks its way across the northeast corridor. Temperatures are actually going to be on a downward trend through much of the northeast through the day. Buffalo, you already hit your high temp today. Everything's going down from here on in because those cold fronts are moving on through. As regards to the precipitation here, rain, if not rain and snow showers mixing together tonight with a better shot of that snow shower activity in upstate New York and the mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire as we go into tomorrow. Plus, the temperatures here, Jen, are going to get really chilly starting in the Midwest today, 15 or so degrees below average. The Northeast, you feel that chill tomorrow, 15 to 20 degrees below average. Over to you.
All right, that was such a Debbie Downer kind of segment. Places hitting their high temperature already and dropping and getting windy and cold. But I'm going to make it even worse because wait until you see what's going to happen this week in the Northeast. Mansfield, Connecticut, it's cloudy. You'll get some breaks of sun out there today. And then everything Mark was talking about is heading your way later. But I'm going to show you what comes here on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and nor'easter. Yep. It's on the graphic, and it could happen. First of all, let's just review, since it's been a while since we've been talking about nor'easters. It's basically an area of low pressure just off the coast, and the reason it's called a nor'easter is that northeasterly wind that we get from it. It's very persistent, it's very strong, and because of that, the moisture comes in. We have heavy rain, we have large waves, and sometimes coastal erosion and flooding. So here's how things are going to pan out for us this week. Big dip in the jet stream comes in, upper level low associated with that. That's going to be one of the ingredients. Another one is going to be the subtropical jet stream. That starts to wave back north. So you get now the energy from both the northern branch of the jet stream and the southern branch that will come in and actually help rise the air, make the air rise, and that will give us low pressure at the surface. And we will see that here right off the coast of the Mid-Atlantic. That's the location that we'll start to see our coastal low form. There's also going to be a high pressure up here in eastern Canada. That's actually a pretty important ingredient as well. It's that pressure gradient between the strong high and the strong low that really gives us very strong northeasterly winds. We'll see that starting on Tuesday, continuing on Wednesday, and then moving into Thursday. So here's how it all plays out. You can see the rain on Tuesday. By Wednesday, this thing is really getting cranking. Very windy along the coast, and on Thursday up into New England, we are still really dealing with this thing, and again concerned about some coastal flooding and coastal erosion. Mark.
And Hurricane Ana getting pretty close to Hawaii now, and the islands are starting to feel the impacts. Large waves, some rain, even some mudslides possible, and we're tracking the storm and the tropical storm watches that are up for the island chain. Plus, we're following your weekend events as the show rolls on here at the Weather Channel.
It has been said that beauty is found within. That what's on the inside is what really counts. Agreed. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. During the Jeep Celebration event, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2014 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $359 a month.
Show it off, America. Show off that belt you replaced. Show off the fuel pump, the oil change, the upgrade. You did it. There are a lot of places you can go to do it yourself, but there's only one place that can help you do it right. AutoZone. Because even the pros know parts are just part of what we do. We have the advice, the instructions, we even loan tools. So show it off, America. You did it right. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
All right, we got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond.
Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on two.
When the game's on the line,
Hit him with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
the NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
I've always been into biking, but I had kids, a job, other priorities. When I bought a house at Del Webb, I joined this group and started going on long rides a few times a week. I became obsessed with getting faster. I started shaving minutes off my time, and now seconds. Our trainer here has really helped me push through to the next level. What's it really like to own a home in a Del Webb community? Ask someone who lives here at delwebb.com.
Sunday nights, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm.
Shipping a brown Gratz bow is, you never Jim Jam River Flab Drive is.
What's Pon's easy drink?
Drival Shibud Lever Murray.
Hey, Big Bog Panorama Corn Salad Baby. Dude, squibble beds. Mayor Yazy.
Warm-up snap, Jebby Roll on Jim Big Dito Flash.
Now's the time to get in the loop. Just look for our fall TV picks with Xfinity On Demand. Quickly find the season's hottest shows with a hand-picked collection all in one place. Only from Xfinity.
The Treasure Coast is a special part of Florida. It's why people retire here. It's why Bob and I moved here to raise our daughter, and I believe it needs to be protected. That's why I've worked hard to find funding to clean up the Indian River Lagoon and Loxahatchee. And it's why I voted to cut taxes and fees for our seniors and small businesses. Our community is worth fighting for, and I am just getting started.
(805-6704) for a free buyer's guide. That's 1-800-805-6704.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine, high 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back as we continue to track Gonzalo, and we're getting some new images just into the newsroom here out of Bermuda. Damage from Hurricane Gonzalo. Dr. Peter Neely, who works with us here at the Weather Channel, is actually in Bermuda. He is the Senior Vice President for the Global Forecast Center, and he took these pictures just moments ago. You can see that wall. That is a concrete wall, 18 inches thick, where he was actually doing some broadcasting right along that wall from behind it through the day yesterday. Well, that wall collapsed. You're seeing all of the bricks strewn off to the left side of the picture there. That was a wall that was standing towards the right side of the picture. We've also seen some images like this one with trees and power lines down. This video coming in showing you just a small smattering of the scope of the power line issues across the island. 85% or so of the customers without power. Look at the roof damage there to that building. My goodness, a huge chunk of the roof just gone because of the force of the winds. And of course, you're seeing this video live as we are. This is new video coming into us right now. And so power crews are already out trying to begin that restoration process. Of course, roads are blocked. You got to find new ways around, and that includes the power crews. They have to be able to get to those damaged sites, and with so many trees down, that has been a big problem. Of course, it's time now for your full tropical update. Jen in the lab with the latest on several tropic systems that we're watching right now. Jen, over to you.
That's right, Mark. We've got Gonzalo, of course, and it is accelerating off to the northeast. Your next stop could be Newfoundland, so we're going to continue to watch any impacts there, maybe as a Category 1 hurricane. But let's look at what else is going on. Of course, we have Ana, which we have been talking about, and the potential impacts in Hawaii. But what may be new to you this morning is Tropical Storm Trudy, which is right here very close to the coast of southern Mexico. And heavy rain will be a very big concern with Trudy. I'm going to get to that in a moment. I want to look at Ana. Latest advisory had the winds knocked down about 5 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour. The movement to the northwest at 13. It's offshore of the islands, and it's going to stay offshore. But one thing I've been noticing as I keep looking at the satellite here time and time again, it was looking weaker. It was looking less organized. It's starting now to show a little more signs of organization. Want to see if this sort of wraps itself around again, see if the convection or the thunderstorms really starts to give more of a distinct look, and maybe we would see an eye, and that would show us certainly some more signs of any, not just acceleration, but any in terms of improvement to the structure. Now, what we are seeing right now on the radar is some heavy rain. You can see the echoes showing up on the northern side of the Big Island right now. You are not seeing the echoes that are there on the southern side of the Big Island. The radar beam just getting blocked for us by the mountains, so we can't see it. But it's raining, and I checked Hilo. It's raining. The winds are not gusty at Hilo. They're about 5 or 6 miles per hour. It's just rain. And the rain on the southern side of the Big Island is where it's going to be heaviest because you get that upslope flow, and that exacerbates the rainfall. 3 to 5 inches of rain, flash flood watch there until noon Hawaiian time. There'll be rainfall amounts on the order of 1 to 2 inches for the other islands as we continue to watch it scoot on by and skirt off to the south and then to the west here of the islands. The rainfall, the outer bands, we could see some gusty winds in excess of 30, 40 miles per hour with those outer bands. And of course, the surf will be up there as well because of Ana. Let's look at Tropical Storm Trudy. The winds at 60 miles per hour. This big cluster of clouds right here, this is Trudy. Again, a tropical storm with a very slow movement. To the east at 2, it really doesn't have far to go before it makes landfall and will later today here across southern Mexico. Now, it's to the east of Acapulco, to the southeast of Acapulco. There will be rain in Acapulco, but the worst of the weather will be down from them south of Acapulco. Heavy rain, though, and the potential for mudslides is our biggest and gravest concern. We're likely to see rainfall on the order of 12 to 18 inches. That's 1.5 feet of rain. We've got the mountains that go right down here, the Sierra Madre del Sur, and that is where we really could get all of that moisture squeezed out of the atmosphere and see that concern for flash flooding. Mark.
Yeah, mudslide's going to be a huge factor there as well. So we'll monitor that situation for you. Plus, it's going to be cold and wet for parts of the Northeast, especially Maine and upstate New York and Vermont and New Hampshire. Well, we're going to take a look at the rain and how it could knock down more of that fall foliage. Plus, how about this in New Orleans, looking lovely for the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Fest.
Project of the Week is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
Hello. This is where we do that bundling thing. Let's see what you got. RV, covered. Why would you pay for a hotel?
I never do.
Motorcycles? Check. ATV.
I ride those.
Do you?
No.
Boat. Ahoy, mateys.
House?
Hello, dear. Hello.
Hello.
Van with airbrushed fire-breathing dragons. Check.
The more you bundle, the more you save. Now that's Progressive.
Let the Ancestry leaf guide you and reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
Man, these boneless chicken wings are great.
Yeah, I know, and I finally found myself a wingman.
You're going to use the wing as your wingman?
Yeah, for the ladies.
It's going to give you that certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais what?
Be a wingman with new all-white meat, boneless chicken wings, and 3 flavors. This is how you Sonic. Hey, I noticed your car's not in the driveway.
Yeah, it's in the shop. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
Should have taken it to Midas. Get some of that Midas touch. They'll tell you what stuff needs fixing and what stuff can wait.
All right. Next time, going to Midas.
High five. Did not see that coming.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
Introducing York Minis. A bite-sized new way to enjoy the full-size sensation of peppermint and rich dark chocolate. New York Minis. Get the sensation.
Sheila, you see this ball control? You see this, right? It's 80% confidence and 64% knee brace. That's much. Shh. I know that's more than 100%, but that's what winners give. Now bicycle kick your old 401k into an IRA.
I know.
Listen, just get TD Ameritrade's rollover consultants on the horn. They'll guide you through the whole process. It's simple. Even she could do it. Whatever, Janet.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far, far worse.
Tomorrow night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Voodoo's like magic. Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
American Supernatural. Tomorrow night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under fair skies. Today, plentiful sunshine. High 84. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Hurricane Gonzalo unleashed its fury on the island of Bermuda, and this morning we're getting a look at the damage from the storm.
And rain and showers like this could make a return this weekend. Will it dampen your plans? We'll show you who's going to get soaked.
And for these two, it's the most important day of their lives. We're giving one lucky couple a personalized forecast for their big day.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Mark Elliott, in for Alex Wallace today. And you are looking at Bermuda behind us, where Hurricane Gonzalo made landfall last night. Still getting reports from authorities that nearly every road is impassable. They're trying to go road by road. You wouldn't know it by looking at the picture like this.
No, but, you know, we certainly watched the weather, and we saw the strong winds as it came ashore. And then the eye of Gonzalo went directly over the island, so the winds over the entire island went calm as the eye made its way past, and then the back edge of the eye wall came through, and this is what happened. All the wind and the rain came down again, and with even more ferocity.
Plus, it was really poor timing because some of the worst of the weather with that eye wall came through at night. So if it wasn't eerie enough with that calm and then getting hammered again, you couldn't see out the door because it was pitch black out and everybody was out of power.
Right.
So just an eerie night, that's for sure. And luckily, we're not hearing too much in the way of injuries.
Yes, that's a great report. A lot of times the injuries happen as people are cleaning up. So I'm really, crossing my fingers to hope that we don't hear of any injuries from this storm. We can show you what it looked like through the eyes of the storm as it progressed.
Here I am on the western side of Bermuda right now, and we're still expecting the storm to track about 20 to 50 miles to our west.
The causeway, as the sun has come up here in Bermuda, clouds starting to thicken up, the wind is increasing. We're still waiting for the brunt of Hurricane Gonzalo.
We are going to get battered here with hurricane force winds.
Make no mistake, it is going to get extremely rough, and this scene will look dramatically different. The causeway is now closed, starting to get whitecaps. The wind is starting to pick up now, gusting into the mid-30s. Look at conditions out here now. Almost hurricane force winds here.
Conditions have been deteriorating here since early this afternoon as Hurricane Gonzalo passes by as a Category 3 storm. We are in the thick of it right now as Hurricane Gonzalo makes its way onshore. It is so close right now that the surf is starting to come up. Winds have already gusted on the island upwards of around 101 miles per hour.
And that was an intense 24 hours or so, that's for sure. The good news is that as we continue to track Gonzalo here, most of the worst of the weather is now done for Bermuda. When landfall occurred, though, it was 110 mile per hour strong Category 2 as it moved on by. Right now, still at winds of 100 miles per hour, but quickly racing north-northeast at 22 miles per hour. So watch out, Newfoundland. Some of this weather's coming to you, and eventually watch out UK. We might still have a tropical storm on our hands all the way across the Atlantic. But for Bermuda itself, you are now basically in the clear. The higher pressure on the outskirts of our storm is going right over Bermuda now. So that's the dry air that we're seeing. Looking down the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, the oranges and reds, the bronze colors there, showing much drier conditions. The thing that is still remaining and will still be a factor through the day is the wave activity. We're still going to have a large swath of winds now piling up the waters, maybe towards the western side of the island, and so that might be the worst side for the waves, but there will be waves and rip currents. Winds are calming down now. Winds gusting in the low 20 miles per hour, which is a lot better than gusting to 144 miles per hour or so, which is what we had during the peak of the storm. Now, this system very quickly will be racing away. Here's Newfoundland, again, brushing on by, but again, Jen, maybe making it all the way across the Atlantic to the UK. We'll have to follow this one until it gets there. Over to you.
All right, thanks for that, Mark. Let's look at Philadelphia. Still got a few clouds out there. They're not going to bring any rain to maybe later today. I wouldn't worry about these too much. Philly, not so bad as it's going to be in other parts of the Northeast and other parts of the Keystone State, like Western Pennsylvania, where we have some rain showers right now. Overall in the Northeast, kind of showery, kind of coolish. That's the trend for your weekend. Here's what's happening. First of all, your temperatures are dropping. No, we're down to Syracuse at 56. We were at 59. We were at 61 in Burlington. We're at 58, and down is the direction your temperatures are going. 68 in D.C., though. If you're out ahead of these fronts, we're doing okay. We're going to be watching for some gusty winds, some rain showers along those dropping temperatures here with the fronts today coming on through, and they're both fairly weak. What we're just seeing is just some reinforcing cooler air to come on in, and again, it's going to be a bit windy. When it comes to the rain, we've got rain right now, hit or miss from Cleveland to Buffalo on 90 over towards Syracuse. Syracuse, where that batch of steadier rain is on the move. We're going to be watching for that to get out of Syracuse maybe this afternoon, but still the chance of some showers continuing. And then we track out that batch of heavier rain into the Capital District of New York, up towards Burlington and the Lake Champlain area. Eventually, Worcester, Mass, New Haven, Connecticut, we could get a few showers. Boston, there is that chance that you could get some rain by later today. And I know we've got the head of the Charles Regatta. More than 400,000 people are outside to watch that event. The shower chance does go up as we get into the afternoon, but it is very hit or miss. Rainfall chances tonight. Yes, there's a chance for some rain or snow mixing in with that at some of the highest of elevations, and we'll see that again tomorrow here in the Northeast. So overall, much cooler. Mark.
And Jen, the other thing that's bringing a lot of people outside today is, of course, college football games. We have your forecast across the country. Looks like the most inclement weather will be from the Great Lakes into the Northeast, as Jen was just showing us. Cool and kind of showery. Spotty showers in the Pacific Northwest as well, but warm and dry here across the South. We can take a look at the top 25 teams. A lot of you following along. Mississippi State, #1. Ole Miss, #3. Now, Mississippi State, you can't lose today because it's a bye week. So that's good news for you, I suppose. But you know what? We can take a look at some of those games. How about we start out by looking at Ole Miss? Clicking into this one for you. Ole Miss taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. A perfect day for football. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the low 60s. One of the biggest games that people are following today is in Tallahassee. #5, Notre Dame coming in to take on #2, Florida State. The Seminoles, 73 degrees. Again, no problems with regards to the weather there. Jen, back to you.
Also a big day in West Virginia. It is Bridge Day, and base jumpers from around the world will leap off the New River Gorge Bridge into the white waters of the New River below, although they're hoping not to land in the water. This is the only day of the year they shut down the bridge for this. 80,000 spectators watch those jumpers take this 876 foot plunge, and you are watching it live right there. There it goes. Pull your chute.
It gets my heart going. I'm not even on the bridge.
You have to be very experienced, actually, a very experienced skydiver to be able to do this. Their goal is to land on that little target there on the side.
And it's just jump after jump after jump. There is like, what, 5 in the air at a time?
You can take as many jumps as you want. You know, just keep climbing back up.
Wow.
There you go, Mark.
It's wild.
Luckily, the weather's pretty good.
Yeah, not